I get paid the most out of my money each month. Hey there, my handsome and pretty little Cobras, and welcome back to the Cobras Nest. For those of you who are new, my name is Mignon Cobra and I make minimalism videos. So today's minimalism video is going to be 14 ways that I use minimalism as a tool for wealth building. So without further ado, let's just get into the video. Let's get it, let's go. Woo. Okay, number one, less is more, but only for stuff, not actually for money. So I kind of realized the less stuff that I had meant that the money that I earned from like my salary meant more money for me, and that has been really nice because I'd rather have money in the bank as opposed to a bunch of clutter that really has no value at the end of the day. Number two, more money means more options. Since having more money, I realized there's been a lot of things that I've been able to do that I couldn't do when I had less money. So I've been really enjoying having money as an option provider. Number three, fancy things are great, but freedom is better. I love fancy things. You guys know I'm a Libra. I like shiny things, but having actually tasted freedom, I realized that none of that stuff compares to what it feels like to finally be able to be like, no, I don't want to do this at work, or I'm gonna move, or I'm gonna upgrade my life and nobody could stop me because I finally got the money. Number four, validation from others is a toxic and never-ending cycle. I have struggled with validation from others. I still struggle with it, but I've realized that it's a never-ending cycle, so I'm never gonna get the validation that I seek, so I'm just gonna stop seeking it. Number five, all that clutter costs your money and your time. When I was younger, I didn't really understand the correlation between money and time, but now that I realized that, at least for me, since I don't run a business, like my money comes through selling my time, and I realized that I don't want to buy some things because it's going to cost me my time. Until I'm in a position where I don't have to do that trade-in, it just kind of shifted my perspective that I don't need to buy that stuff. It's just going to turn to clutter, and it didn't really cost me my money so much that it costed me my time. Number six, the ability to leave the rat race depends on your ability to live as minimalistically as possible. At first, I felt like I didn't really like this quote because I felt like it came from a place of scarcity, like I'm gonna live like I'm poor to not be poor, but that's not what they're saying. They're saying like you can still have nice things and you can still find that balance, but they're just saying that like on the flip side, you're not gonna escape the rat race if you blow all your money on useless junk. Number seven, you're buying your freedom, options, and future wealth. I really liked to buy material things before I became a minimalist, but then I realized that I wanted more out of my life, and I realized I was only gonna get that by building wealth, and so I had to design a life that involved, not buying material junk, and then that's when I realized, ooh, I'm gonna buy my freedom as opposed to more junk. Number eight, social media is a double-edged sword. So social media would have you believe that most people are living their best lives and super rich, and I'm sure that there are plenty of people who are, but constantly comparing myself to those people, and I realized that if I just think that most of it's a lie, I don't feel as pressured to have to buy material things to keep up with them, and that has been really great for the clutter in my life, my minimalism journey, and the money in my pocket. Number nine, nobody but you cares about your stuff. So I kind of realized this when I bought an iPhone. I bought an iPhone and that video didn't perform extremely well. It performed just as equally well as any of my other videos, and that's when I realized that nobody cares about the stuff that I own except me, and then that kind of freed me to not have to put my validation in material possessions because at the end of the day, actually nobody cares. Number 10, be economic/frugal, but never cheap. That is a fine line that I have been adjusting. I be the type of person who, if I can be cheap, I'll be cheap, but I've been realizing in my minimalism journey to just be frugal, and that's like make the better choice, make the more like bang for the buck choice as opposed to just being straight up cheap. And that's different for everybody, but for me, I just have to always tell myself, be frugal, don't be cheap. Okay, number 11, being poor is expensive. I'm not sure how close to minimalism this is, but I kind of realized that as I started to get more money and have less things, I realized that a lot of purchases that I used to make in the past were because I couldn't afford better. And in doing so, I constantly had to replace the items, or the items were not of very good quality. And that's when I realized that being poor is expensive. It costs you more long term as opposed to I've spent less now because I've bought better and I've bought less. That there's actually some truth to the fallacy that being poor is expensive. So you might as well own twice as less and twice as nice. Number 12, growth is a result of the sacrifice for the present for the better future. I kind of realized that if I want to have a better future, I'm going to have to make sacrifices in the present. And that was hard for me in the beginning because I just wanted to have a good time today. But then I realized that today just sucked and tomorrow sucked, and the days just kept on sucking. So I realized at some point, if I wanted to have a better tomorrow, I was just going to have to do what I didn't want to do today to have a better future. And it's totally paid off. Minimalism has allowed me to do that. I live a lot better, and I don't think that would have happened if I didn't start making those sacrifices. Okay, number 13, pay yourself first. This is totally like a minimalism finance rich dad tip, but it's helped so much. I would pay everybody but myself. I would spend all my money, pay all of my dues, and whatever was left over was for Nat, and I don't do that anymore. I take a big amount of money and I always save that for myself, and then whatever's left over, I pay my like Visa and I pay like my food bill, but I get paid the most out of my money each month. Number 14, don't save, invest as well. This this is not, personal finance advice. I'm not an advisor, I'm not a professional, but I'm just saying that I've found for myself that my money started to kind of grow in a better, healthier way once I started to invest it, as opposed to when I would just leave it there in my bank, just kind of depreciating and deflating in value. Investing, I've seen over this decade, has really helped protect the value of my money than if I had not invested it. So a lot of things that I do in my minimalism is really actually just to be able to create the capital to be able to invest and pretty much build wealth for myself in the future. I think you guys are definitely enjoying this minimalism content. Stick around, check out my channel, keep binge watching. I have a lot more minimalism content. I have like over 400 videos. Don't be shy, click into the channel and just binge and enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.